So it's a very good afternoon to everyone.
Hi guys, and welcome to the last 16 of this inaugural UK Open GB9 tournament, coming to you live from Telford. Kev Simpson up against Phil Wildman in a straight race to 8. It's 9 ball. 9 ball is on the spot. Your usual rules, and there you see the matchroom break box. I'll tell you a few little stats about the break box and as we go through this match. Alternate break, nice start there from Kev Simpson. Phil Wildman. I've got a little story about Phil Wildman as well. Well, not necessarily him, about his father. Yes, I am that old. I'm Mark White, and I'm going to be joined very soon by Sam Jones, as we see that nice bank shot there. Really does look like his dad as well, Phil Wildman. Nudged into the 2. It's just going to be a safety from here though. Try and get covered down behind the 9. Oh, just staying by the 8. He's just overrun it slightly. Went for pure accuracy rather than distance as well. When you're playing that shot, you just have to get the hook. If you don't, you've got no hook and you've got no distance either. So Kev Simpson straight back into the action. Well, plays a pretty poor safety as well, to be honest, in reply. So he's a bit of a test of cueing. I don't think he's got much angle here. If he is dead straight, he might just have to draw back and maybe play the bank on the 3 ball. Yeah, just having second thoughts. Oh, he's really got hold of that, hasn't he? And now can play the 3-6 combo if he so wishes. It's not easy though. Plenty of other matches in progress as well. We'll keep you up to date with those scores as well, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a full day of pool today, and then we've got a couple of finals for you tomorrow as well. Now, can he reach this, and can he get to the side of the 7 ball, the brown 7, just maybe hampering slightly, and nothing to do with the cue ball here. He's okay, look, just hold the cue ball for the 5, purple 5. Always wanted to do a bit of GB9 commentary. Another bucket list item being ticked off today. I'm not actually at the venue. I'm in Thailand at the moment, so it's at 6:15 p.m. for me. So a nice evening match for me, just after midday for you. And I'm going to be with you for the whole of the day today. So this 9-ball then to level things up. Nicely done. So both players have come some other couple of scores from around the room. Quintin Pongers. Now I met him in China recently. That's Yannick Pongers' older brother. He's 1-0 up against Wayne Rook. Felipe Gonzalez has taken the first rack against Javi Del Santo Sanz. Dean Shields and Jake Dillon Newlove are all square at 1-1. And Matthew Wrigley, he's lost his first rack against Dave Hopkin. Well, look at the 9 going very close. Well, this is going to be a very, very quick rack indeed. Can play the combo, can play the carom. Almost had a golden break. So it will be the carom then, this to take a 2-1 lead. Oh, you have to watch the cue ball as well, I was going to mention that. Oh, he played it way too hard. And caught it full in the face. We shall continue then. Chance for Phil to get back in this. I'm sure he must have felt he'd lost this rack when he saw the 9-ball going so close. Just shows you, 9-ball, anything can happen. Seems to have the pace of the table down very, very nicely. We're playing on the Sam Leisure tables. And we're playing on the Z9 cloth, the sharp grey Z9. Thanks guys for supplying this beautiful cloth. Looks nice and lively. I used to play on a Sam table. There was only 2 tables in my area, and they were both Sam. May just drop this in and leaves himself a little angle on this 7 just to drift over to the right hand side for the 8. Anywhere just off straight either side, a couple of inches off the rail or tight on the rail wouldn't be too bad either. This is perfect. Now just a little draw stun off the side rail. 9 into the bottom left corner. Very nicely done. A rack that should have gone to Kev Simpson. It's going to go against the serve, so to speak. Phil Wildman will be breaking in rack number 4. Tom Stavely in action. I know Tom. I met him at Moscone Cup in 2021. Or was it 2022? It might have been 2022. Yes, it was 2022. He has lost his first rack against Vietnamese Gan Hao Dang. So Phil Wildman to break. Leading 2-1. to make the 1 in the side pocket. And he does. Watch out for the cue ball coming back into the pack. Sometimes it knocks onto the 9 like it did in the last rack. Almost made the 9. Kev Simpson that was, last rack. He's got a ball down, and look at this. Beautiful shape on the 2. Changed his mind on the grip. Didn't affect the shot. Finished nicely on this 3. Bit of low right on the cue ball, around about 5 o'clock on the clock face. There you see in the background lots of other matches going on as well. They've got 2 tournaments running at the same time actually. 3 if you count the one next door in the main arena. I think it's fair to say the pockets in the main arena are a little bit different to the ones on the tables we're using here in the amateur event, and rightly so in my opinion. Been so much talk about size of pockets this week, as is always the case. Matchroom have gone with 4-inch, but apparently they're a little bit under. Great shot that he played on the 3 there, got 2 straight, didn't leave himself any angle to do anything with a cue ball, so he's had to settle for a longer 5. Now this is very missable. Even if he goes for it, he may play with a save. Could play it as a 2-way, just err on the side of thinner rather than fatter. Well, even better. Just go straight into the heart of the pocket, play it a 1-way. Beautiful shot. Finished really nicely now on this 6. So looking very, very strong in our first final 16 match. Play this 2 ways, can just hold it, just play a draw shot. I think he's a player that likes to draw. Just draw across the face. There you see, low on the cue ball, 6 on the clock face. Now he doesn't want to be straight. Well, he's okay. He can just draw straight back again for the 8 into the top right. Somewhere near the side pocket kind of distance would be nice. There's a beautiful close-up look of the Aramith black balls. Well, he's overdrawn this. He's really got hold of that. I think he's still okay though, not going to be hampered by the 9. You may have just seen the little, well obviously it's the black measles white, but Aramith 100 years old this year. Centenary set have been released with the number 100 on them. Without doubt the best ball maker in the world. You don't survive 100 years in business if you're not doing all the right things. So a little tester here. Yeah, it was a tester. Maybe just a little bit hesitant on the stroke, maybe just a little bit deceleration. He's got away with it though. I mentioned earlier about catching the ball thin. He caught that thin, but he didn't mean to. You see the rack on the table. That's the shark rack. Somebody with his head on backwards, look, on the table behind. Well, you could push the boat out and try a 4-railer, do a bit of an Efron shot. There's the close-up of the shark rack. You could just play... Oh, he's coming on the right-hand side of this 9 as we look. Yeah, that was a super tough shot he was trying there. I think whenever the safety is more difficult or as difficult as going for it, you might as well have a go at it. And it was super difficult to get that safe. It's going to be another rack on the board for Phil Wildman. He now leads 3-1. I said I have a story about Phil Wildman. In 1984 it was, either 83 or 84, I played his father, the great Mark Wildman, ex-billiard world champion. I played him in a tournament, a billiards tournament in Clacton-on-Sea at Clacton Snooker Centre, and it was owned by 2 professional referees, Peter Koniotis and Michael Clark. Peter Koniotis was the Greek Cypriot Englishman, I suppose you could call him. Refereed the semi-final of the World Championships in 1979. You know you're getting old when you go down Memorial Street, when you're bringing up all the old memories, and I've got lots of them. Fell in love with Q Sports 55 years ago, believe it or not, watching Pot Black in black and white. Those poor commentators back then. So a push out from Kev Simpson, for those of you that may be joining us new to the game of 9-ball. If you've just stumbled across us, welcome. After every break shot, if you choose, you or the incoming player can choose to play a push out. You don't have to hit a rail. You can hit any ball. You can make any ball. He's played the push out. But here's the rub. Now his opponent has the choice. Do I want to take it, or do I want to put my opponent back in? Well, I think there's only one answer here. So going for the jump stick. Jump shots are allowed. Over it. A bit like one of my high jumps at school. I used to knock the bar off every time. It didn't clear. So back in with a chance to pull a rack back. Quinton Pongers, he's going really well. 3-0 up now on Wayne Rook. Benji Buckley, 2-0 up on Manuel Fernandez. Kev Simpson nicely in the balls here, looking to pull a rack back and go 3-2. Break as always, it's going to be very, very important. Kev just waiting. There he is actually, look, Quinton Pongers, older brother of Yannick. Yannick was world junior champion. I was there in Austria when Yannick won in Klagenfurt, in Albin and Jasmine's hometown, back in October last year. Nicely done. 3-2 it is then. Colgan Adderberg was also there, winning another junior title. Actually, I think Carl won in Puerto Rico the year before, if I'm right. He had a very, very good run, didn't he? Knocked out Carl Boise. Boise. So it is 3-2. Update the score for you very soon. It's a lovely little safety, that is. I'm sure Phil has played some billiards in his time. I'm sure his dad taught him how to play the game. And it does come in handy when you play a lot of different cue sports. You can pick up little things from each discipline. Just trying to lay on that, so he's left ball in hand for Phil. Can play the 2-8 as long as you hit the lowest numbered ball on the table first. You can make any ball, and if it happens to be the 9 ball that you make, that wins the rack. We've already seen 1, 2, 9 attempts earlier on that Kev scratched off very, very early on. Well, I must say, I'm surprised he missed that with ball in hand. You'd expect him to get that. Quintin Pongas, I think, has an afternoon tea appointment because he's gone 4-0 up already. He's in a hurry. Tom Staveley, a good recovery, now leads 2-1 against Haidang. Played that knowing that he could make the 2 at the same time. So made sure he had a decent look at the 3, but does it pass? Really is a nice venue here. I know the GB9 usually plays in a hotel conference room. I've seen many of them on the live streams. GB9 expanding. Really is a great setup here. We're right next door to the other venue hosting the main event, the UK Open match room. Just a couple of little shaky shots from Phil. His last 2 visits haven't been what he would expect. Might get 2 for the price of 1 here. Look, we're going to see Quinton play a shot. Well, maybe not. The cameraman is teasing us. Yeah, it's a little bit thin, that was, to try and cut it in, so he's played a good safety. Would love to kick and stick this. Maybe even. Yeah, he's just looking Does he want to try and get over behind the 7 off of this, or just does he want to just kick the 3 past the 7 and get it to that top rail? It's all about the pace, this one. Yeah, that's what he was looking at, getting over behind the 7. Oh, it was a good effort, but this is a chance, I think. Tight on this rail. Oh, he played it well. Got a nudge, an unwanted nudge rather, into the 4, but it's worked out okay. He could basically just hold the cue ball where the 4 is here. I don't know how straight he is. Wow, he's played that very quick. Played it very quick indeed. Unexpected. After making that difficult 3, I thought he was going to run out there for sure. Played with a little trace of right hand spin just to slow the cue ball and widen the angle off of the top rail. Has to be careful here. That's okay. Now can spin into this corner by the sharp rack up on the rail there, or he can go forwards as well. Looks like he's going forwards with some spin. Played it with a trace of right this time. So this 9 ball to go back to a 2-rack lead for Phil Wildman, and I'm going to be joined in the booth for the next rack by Sam Jones. He's been busy doing some technical stuff.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, Mark, about that. Yeah, hopefully that's everything sorted. All the tech wins.
Well, you've been sorting the score out. You've been keeping up with the score, which is very, very important. And talking of scores, Sam, Quinton Pongers is that on an absolute roll. Well, it was, I was just going to say 5-0. He's just gone to 6-0. Must have been a golden break or something. Incredible.
Well, it looks like he wants to just crack on and get to lunch.
He's got a date, I reckon. So 1 in the side as desired. Now then, the 2. I think it's cuttable. A lot of work to do though, Sam, to get onto the 3. May not take it on. It's very close to the rail as well. We'd love to be able to dig down and play some right hand bottom on this, but yeah, couldn't get close to the 3. Has he even got a piece of it? I think he's just got enough. That was very nicely played. Now, Sam, I have a question for you. Yeah. Do you have a favourite? Who's your pick to win this tournament?
This tournament? This particular one? I'd have to go with one of my local players, Jake Newlove. It'd be very wrong of me if I didn't support someone that's very close to me, location-wise.
Yeah, he's not having it too good at the moment, though. He's 5-2 down to Dean Shields.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Jake's, is Dean. He's a very strong 8-ball player, is Dean. They have been practicing a lot these last couple of weeks.
Are they mainly, we're looking at mainly English 8-ball players here? I mean, I know Tom Staveley plays a lot of 9-ball. Phil Wildman, I'm not sure about Phil. I know he plays on the tour, right? On the 9-ball tour?
Yeah, Phil does, yeah. But certainly Dean and Jake are very familiar to the English pool scene. But they are multi-cue sports players.
Yeah. Bad miss there on the 8-ball from Kev. Just kind of took it for granted. A wily shot from Mr. Wildman there. Not taking any risks. Maybe looking at the kick and stick here. I'm not sure. He went round to look at something. May take the bank on. He's already turned one shot down in favour of a safety. This time he's gone for it. Has he got away with it? He may have done, you know. Well, he's left a possible bank on here. But it's funny, isn't it? He tried to play safe on an earlier 9-ball in a similar situation. And he kind of messed up the safety, and I was quite surprised he didn't play something more positive. This time he's played something positive, and he's ended up with a decent, well, half-decent safety. What a game this is. Oh, he's gone all out as well for the bank. And again, he's got away with it. Nothing easy. He's coming round to look at the potting angle, though.
Yeah, the thing cuts there, but you are losing the white ball.
Yeah, could play with some inside, straight up and down. That's what he's done. He's played it very, very nicely indeed. Well, that was way more difficult than the 8-ball he missed earlier on. Paid it a lot more attention. Just shows you when you don't give the balls respect, they come back and bite you. Where's the cue ball going though? He's okay.
I thought we were watching snooker then. Where's the white ball going?
Yeah. I know it rubs off, doesn't it? It's. Do you know? I was watching an interview the other day. Stephen Hendry did a great interview with John Virgo at the Crucible. I'm not sure if you've seen it or not. And he was asking him about where that saying came from. And yeah, I knew I'd heard it somewhere, but I couldn't think where. And it was actually Ted Lowe. And that was the first person I ever heard commentating snooker, of course. And the reason that Ted Lowe, another nice little story for you, the reason Ted Lowe has had such a quiet voice, you remind me a little bit of Ted Lowe actually. Sam, you've got a very quiet, calm voice. Ted Lowe actually used to sit in the audience and commentate with a lip mic. So that's why he developed that. Oh, and there's a golden break.
For Phil.
Well, how quick this game changes. Just as he thought he was getting back into it, Kev Simpson played that beautiful 8-ball in the last rack. All of a sudden, it's a golden break for Phil Wildman to increase the lead again. What's your favourite game then, Sam? What do you like playing most? Are you an 8-ball player?
You know what, it's going to be English billiards for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, traditional English billiards.
Well, that's... I was talking, I don't know whether you heard me earlier on, talking about Mark Wildman. Yeah. Billiards world champion. And what a game that is. I really miss that game, you know, just nobody plays it anymore.
No, the numbers are very low at local events. However, I have the privilege of broadcasting with World Billiards, and each event definitely has the numbers.
Oh, I'd love to watch some of that. I mean, You know, if only, I wish just some of the pool players and today's snooker players would play more billiards, because it really does help your game, I think.
Yeah, I can certainly second that.
Nice little stroke there. Played with a lot of right hand English on the cue ball that time. Right hand spin. Just checked it and slowed it off of that rail very nicely indeed. And now just drift the other side of the 9 into the same pocket as the 6. Removing the rack. Don't want to get a skid. So another one back, 5-4. We've had 9 racks. Still not much to separate them. Tom Staveley 3-2 up now on Haidang. Wayne Rook has finally got a rack on the board against Quinton Pongas, but still trails 6-1. Level at 3-3. Felipe Gonzalez against Javi del Santo Sanz, an all Spanish affair there. Dean Shields 6-3 up now on your mate Jake Dylan Newlove. Back to this one then. Phil to break off. Watch for the one in the right hand side pocket. 2 will go close as well. It did. The wing ball and the 1 ball going in, and this is break of the match so far, I think. Just has to negotiate this mid-distance 3 ball. Could just drag this in or could hold it. If you've been watching the main event this week, you might have seen Tobias Bongas from Germany. He's been really doing the business, hasn't he, against all the top players, and he's doing it again. In the last 16, he's up against Ko Pin Yi, and he's taken a 3-0 lead, the German. Phil going very nicely here. Looking to open up that 2-rack lead again, getting ever closer to the winning post of 8. If he can finish off these 3 balls, just needs another 2 to go into the last 8. And we will be playing right down to the finals today in both of our tournaments. 2 going on side by side at the moment. One tournament is best of 3 sets, races to 5. And this particular tournament, a straight race to 8. We will be bringing you action from both of those guys. So it's a nice break and run there from Phil Wildman. We know how important the break is, and everyone always says how important it is, and yes, of course it is. It's a big part of the game, but also a big part of the game is playing positional shots and potting balls. It's no good having the best break in the world if you can't run the balls out. Bulldog Billiards UK. You see the break box. If you're not sure on how the break box is made, I'm going to tell you after this rack. Maybe you already know. If you don't know, I'll maybe teach you something. You see Kev playing in kind of ordinary glasses, right? I wear glasses and I have trouble looking over because I keep looking over the top. I've actually just bought some snooker specs and they'll be with me very, very soon. So a pair of Dennis Taylor type glasses. You wear them, do you?
Really enjoy them. Yeah, I use snooker specs. Best thing I did.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting mine because I am 62 years old now and I am already blind in one eye and I'm minus 5.25 in my good eye. So I do need to wear glasses and normal glasses just don't cut it, of course, because you're looking up over the top of the glasses. So I'm really looking forward to getting them, Sam.
Yeah, I always say it's like, people look at the cues, the tips and everything else, but their actual vision, it's amazing how many people neglect it. In terms of not spending the money to get a pair of glasses or anything that benefits the game.
But they'll spend a couple of $1,000 on a cue.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it does help, of course, to have the best equipment, but equipment does include, of course, being able to see. You need your eyes sorted, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, very unexpected miss there. He's stretching a bit there. It was made a bit lackadaisical. He's now left himself a little bit awkward here. This is missable, still expecting to make it, but just a little bit of pressure on it. Played it well, but now he's lost the cue ball. So it kind of snowballs, doesn't it? A little bit out of position on one shot, and then you go a little bit more on the next. Now he's got to control the cue ball and get it somewhere. Well, he's got to go back and forth at least if he wants to leave himself a long way. Oh, he's okay, but look at the cue ball there, you see what I mean? And that all stems from that kind of loose shot he played on the 3 ball. Didn't get ideal on the 4. Left himself a tricky shot on the 5. And now Phil Wildman back at the table. That's why all the top players are so intent on getting the right position. Makes the next positional shot so much easier, and also the pot as well. Just drop this in the side. Wants an angle though on the 8. There you see he's left himself one, so he can just stun off the side route. 9 in the side. Very nicely done. Got maybe just a little bit closer to the 9 than he thought. Got into the cue ball just a little bit too much, but still no problem with this 9 ball. And this will take Phil Wildman to the hill, and it does. Good time to thank our sponsors, guys. Obviously the GB9 Tour and Z9 cloth which we're playing on. Thank you so much. We're playing on the Sam tables. We're using the shark rack. Thank you guys for that. And the main stream sponsor, thank you so much as well to Taom Billiards, makers of Pyro and V10. And they've just made a big signing. I was due to be in China this week at the GBE big exhibition there in Guangzhou, but didn't make it. Yeah, I never made it. But
setup that looks like for an exhibition, for a trade show.
Just incredible. It's 1.1 million square feet. Can you imagine? It's just absolutely monstrous. I mean, it's on for 3 days, and to be honest, I think you need at least 3 days to walk around it all. It's just incredible. And Taom Billiards this morning have announced that they've signed Earl Strickland. He's now a Taom Billiard Pro, and I'm going to have the pleasure of interviewing Earl very soon because he's on his way to Thailand very soon in June for a tour and exhibitions and to play some golf, and I've been promised a sit-down interview with him. So if any of you guys have got any questions for him, please leave them in the comments. I'll be pleased to ask him for you. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, what a moment that will be to be able to sit down with one of the greats of the game.
Actually funny, I was at the International Open in Norfolk in Virginia back in 2022. It was just after COVID and people were still wearing masks and well, not, you know, didn't have to wear them, but a lot of people still were wearing them, including Earl Strickland. And I walked up to him after one of his matches and asked him for an interview, and he, in no uncertain terms, I mean, I was pretty new to the scene then, nobody knew me, and you know, who's this guy kind of thing, and he said, "Who the hell are you? What do you want?" And I said, "Oh, I'd like to interview you, please, Mr. Strickland." And he said, "You're not even wearing a mask. Where's your mask?" I said, I'll put a mask on. And he said, "No, I don't want to talk to you." Well, things have changed since then. Now he's prepared to sit down and have an interview with me.
Yeah. How times have changed since the COVID times. It's, quite surreal.
Who dares me to say when I sit down with him, "Who are you?"
Well, you're opening line.
I was looking for an opening line. That's not a bad call, actually.
That could be it. But then it could also be the world's shortest interview.
No, I might just remind him that that's what he said to me the first time I tried to interview him. Anyway, back to the business of this. Phil Wildman is on the hill. Also on the hill, Quinton Pongas against Wayne Rook. And one result already. Bad news for you, I'm afraid, Sam. Jake Dillon, New Love, is out. What did he say?
Oh, Jake just walked. Dean stood at side of his ear. Very good player is Dean.
Yeah, I watched him last night on the stream, actually. That was the one that I tuned into last night just to see how things were looking. Really nicely held. Great shot here then, Phil Wildman, to go into the quarterfinals, no problem. Played a really good set there. Kev Simpson did have his chances, and you go back to that first couple of racks when he had an early lead and he had that 2-9 combo, played the carom and scratched straight in the pocket as well. So there you go, guys, that's our first match for you. We'll be coming up with another one very, very shortly. I'm Mark White with Sam Jones. Thank you so much. We'll see you for the next one. Ta-da.
See you in a bit.